Denver man who spent 28 years in prison for a crime he says he didn't commit is now seeking compensation from the state.
Clarence Moses-EL fought to overturn his conviction and now wants compensation for the years he spent in prison, but it won't be easy. The Attorney General's office opposes his request.
Denver 7's Lance Hernandez talked to both sides, and Lance, it comes down to proof.
Proof of innocence, Shannon. Now, Mr. Moses-EL says the evidence proves he's innocent. The AG's office doesn't think it does.
They don't want to admit that an error was made. I mean, a very grave error was made.
Clarence Moses-EL spent nearly 3 decades behind bars for a sexual assault that someone else later claimed they committed. He fought to get the evidence tested for DNA. A court ordered that it be tested, but Denver police threw the evidence away. Still, Moses-EL was granted a second trial and found not guilty.
I'm entitled to compensation.
The compensation law requires that a plaintiff prove innocence before getting any money. The AG's office says there's a big difference between acquittal and actual innocence.
We are not retrying the petitioner. We are not seeking to establish guilt or acquittal in this case. He's choosing to prove himself actually innocent, and we don't believe that he can meet that standard.
In part because the DNA was destroyed.
It's a bit hard to swallow when the Attorney General comes and says that she's opposing his request for compensation because he can't prove through DNA evidence that was destroyed definitively that he's not the perpetrator.
Moses-EL's attorney says there's a cruel irony to the AG's decision.
A man wouldn't fight as hard as he fought to get that DNA tested if he wasn't innocent. I mean, he went and raised money from other inmates for them to pay to have that tested.
Now, prosecutors say the assault victim identified Moses-EL as the man who attacked her, but his attorney says she originally ID'd someone else, then mentioned 3 men, then said it was Moses-EL based on a dream she had while under powerful pain medication in the hospital. Eric Klein says blood typing of evidence that was collected and tested eliminates Moses-EL as the person responsible. Moses-EL's request for compensation will likely be determined at a trial. He's also suing Denver, a former DA, and several investigators. Ann?